Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony show. Oh, what happened here? Oh, hold on 1 second. I think I've got to do this. And I think now we're good. Right? Does it look all right on the screen? It does. Perfect. Now Carla Marie's audio is working.
I apologize for my poor video quality.
That's fine. Where are you right now?
I'm at my sister's house.
Okay.
My mom is here babysitting.
What are you doing with your camera there?
I'm trying to move it to make me in the middle, but
Always think about moving it the opposite direction.
Okay.
It's kind of like reversing a car, right? You like go in the opposite direction of where you want to go.
It's very confusing
Like
in my
that?
brain.
Man, it has been a while since we've been on the stream. Last stream was
Yeah.
last Tuesday, and we took off on Thursday because we were down in Dallas at Morning Show Boot Camp. That was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with a lot of radio people that we haven't seen in a long time, and 2 of the 6 content kittens. Well, 2 of the 4 remaining after us. You all right there?
I heard my mom coming up the steps. Thought she was bringing me a shot.
Well, I don't know. I need to put up the chat in a second to make sure that
Okay.
make sure we are in the hype train. So we're 70% of the way through hype train level 4. If we get through 5, then we'll be good.
Also, one of my ribs popped out again, so I'm moving a little funny.
How did that happen?
Just running on the treadmill.
I saw that Claire mentioned Carla Marie. You got to focus a little bit here.
Okay, my shot has been delivered.
You're killing me.
He can't see you.
How can I? I'm not going to come in. I don't want nobody to see me. Can they see me?
See you. Look.
Hello. Hi.
Okay.
Oh,
Mom, get out. We're live.
oh, goodbye, Mom.
I'm talking to you as if you're the only one here. Oh,
That's
you.
actually that's good, like radio. What's it called? Protocol. You're supposed to talk like you're talking to one person when you're on a broadcast. So your mom's doing a good job.
Okay. The baby's sleeping next door, so I'm trying not to scream.
The baby's gonna wake up anyway.
Yeah.
That's what babies do. Level 4 is complete. We are now in level 5 of the hype train, and we are almost 60% of the way there. And damn, Miguel in Miami, Florida just gifted like 1 billion subs.
Why, Miguel?
It looks like 10 subs from Miguel in Miami, Florida. So that officially puts us through, I think it'll put us through hype train level 6 at some point. So what I'm going to do is run and grab a shot. Carla Marie, I don't know. Do something.
Well, my mom gave me...
And I got to get off the chair like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. You know what? Going from like your own state-of-the-art studio to this, it's something. But there's not a chance I can take this. To be completely honest, I was on the verge of tears, almost in tears, 8 seconds before the show started because I was having so many issues with Zoom, and then like I'd fix something and then something else would go wrong, and it was setting me off. So I was just like, don't cry, but cry. Don't cry, but cry. And it was like one of those moments. So I'm okay. We always talk about it, but like once we're on the show and doing the show, it makes everything, I don't know, you kind of forget about the chaos happening. So thank you for being here. Thank you for dealing with hype train level 7. Oh my God. Thank you for dealing with the little bit of a delay to start the show, but we're here. This is not a glass of water. This is, well, the bottom part is the glass. Like, I don't know, it's probably 3 to 4 ounces. Like, I guess my mom has never poured a shot in her life. I will not be taking that entire thing. So, but yes, I'm in New Jersey. Anthony's in New Jersey. I'm at my sister's house. I saw someone say, are we going to get to see the baby if she wakes up from her nap? The kid slept 12 hours last night, which apparently is normal for her. And now she's napping she's probably been napping about 45 minutes. So, yeah. I think he's going to be back in a moment. Yeah, she doesn't like wake up in the middle of the night. It's kind of wild. So my sister's next kid will be torture.
Oh man, we're on hype train level 5 or 7.
Yeah, I know. We heard you that whole conversation.
Apparently PSE&G, which is the electric company here in New Jersey, has like a maintenance deal for your fridge and all these other things. I had no idea.
Well, okay, but we didn't hear that part.
Oh,
We don't know what we're
what
doing.
other part did you hear?
That you were gonna throw up if you drank
Oh
something.
yeah, my mom wanted to know if I wanted Cafe Patron. Ugh.
Oh yeah. So at your family reunion, your cousins were taking shots of tequila, and like Cafe Patron was the only thing left. And I was like, it is 1 a.m. We should not start drinking Cafe Patron.
Absolutely not. I actually really think the last time I had Cafe Patron is the time that I threw up in the club in New York in their tree. I think that's the last time I had Cafe Patron. And it wasn't like, yes, I was pretty drunk at the time, but I don't think it was the fact that I was that drunk that made me throw up. It was the fact that Cafe Patron is disgusting.
Your cousin Michelle said, wait, how do you have that? It's discontinued.
Then it's very old. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But my mom wanted to make sure I let everyone know I have a nice Tiffany glass here.
Oh.
So these things are pretty cool.
Hey, take that back because we have the Tiffany little mugs.
All right. Carla Marie, did you take your shot yet?
No.
Okay. Cheers to you. Cheers to everyone who supported the stream this morning. I got a lot of tequila in here.
That is a cool You have a lot? That was a joke. I'm not taking this whole thing.
Ooh.
It's legit smells like that woman poured alcohol in here, rubbing alcohol in here.
What kind of alcohol what kind of alcohol
It's gotta be Tito's. That's like my sister's blood is Tito's.
That makes sense. Well, drink up. That's the word. Are you watching yourself? Just take the shot.
I miss Seattle Cocktail Club.
Well, you'll be back there on Thursday. So you'll have another rubbing alcohol shot tomorrow.
There's got to be something better. My mom's like, do you want wine?
I had Casamigos, which, I mean, it's just warm. Otherwise, it's a pretty good shot. But warm tequila will always get you.
It's burning everything.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to do, because this is a big hype train.
Just drink the shot.
I swear to you, if I drink this, I'm going to vomit on my sister's floor.
Do you have water by you? So put a little water in there. Do a little vodka spritzer. Oh wow. Okay, I think you're done. That seemed like a lot of alcohol there. Does your mom have a drinking problem? Why did she pour that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay. Shot is out of the way. There's no list today.
I just gotta go a little more. I feel like it's unfair. We hit 7.
Okay, go for it.
Miguel in Florida, like, look at what he did. And now I'm just sitting here being a little bitch.
Then go for it. We're waiting. Jill, thank you very much for that subscription with Prime. Appreciate that very much. Okay, are you good, Carla Marie?
I threw up. Did I throw up on the stream once?
Yeah, but I don't think it was alcohol for some reason. I think it was something you ate.
Yeah. No, you gave me something.
What?
Cottage cheese and something. Was it that or anchovies?
Maybe cottage cheese and salsa.
It was the anchovies.
Oh, the anchovies. Yeah, those are not good.
That's right. Thank you, Justin. I ran out and I literally was in the bathroom.
Yeah, the anchovies was pretty bad. Or sardines? Was it sardines? It was sardines, right? What was the stupid little fish I was eating? Which now,
sardine.
Listen, now if I was to do that diet again, which I might do once we get back to Seattle, now that I've done it, and I've had the full week of sardines a couple times, actually, I think I would just replace it with something else. Even if it's not like exactly the same macros or whatever for that diet, I think just tuna. My cousin George taught me tuna, soy sauce, and some crackers. And that's actually pretty easy to eat.
Jen said, I remember this. I had a sardine. I still had my braces and it got stuck in my braces.
Anyway, let's talk about what has gone down. Now, I saw that I think it was Claire in the chat mentioned she did not see Ricky wearing her cat ears and cat tail. Now, if you don't know what we're talking about, we had Ricky and John, who you've probably seen on this podcast or on the show a handful of times. We had them on last Tuesday on the Morning Show podcast. They were playing Cover Lovers, and Ricky made the wager. It was her idea that the loser would have to wear cat ears and a tail to this big radio event in Dallas called Morning Show Boot Camp. It's like the conference. in the radio world year after year. It's 35 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He was the same age as me. He was born in 1988.
So Ricky lost, and it wasn't until the final day when we were about to leave that I realized I had not seen Ricky in cat ears and a tail. And we finally got her.
Well, it's funny because Ricky was staying longer than we did. So we were in her hotel room picking up our bags, because we put them in there because we had to check out. And I'm in the bathroom and I hear Anthony go, and I'm like, what? He's like, Ricky's ears and tail. We didn't do this. Where is it? And he's like, oh, I found it. It was like an immediate thing.
Yeah.
So he went downstairs and we have video of it, but it was truly like as we were leaving for the airport. John had already left. So we did mess up. But
we did, but we got the video, we got the content. She still had to wear it in front of a lot of people, and we will put that video together very soon. And I saw that Audrey, the only G, said, every stream you talk about a new cousin. I've got a lot of them. And I don't know if Carla Marie talked about the fact that we had my family reunion here this past weekend, but one of the coolest things about this family reunion specifically was I met so many family members, new family members that I had never met before. I got to meet my cousin. Huh?
You're talking about children.
Well, no, not just children. I got to meet my cousin Maria's husband. They got married in Lebanon, then moved to Ottawa. So I haven't seen Maria up until this weekend in probably 10 years. I got to meet my cousin Joe's son, Thomas. I got to meet my cousin Julian's 2 kids. I got to meet my cousin Antoine's 2 kids. It's just so many people. It was pretty incredible.
Your cousin Rita was helping me. We were in the pool, and I was like, okay, just go over this with me again. This kid is this person's in this.
Yeah.
And we were like,
well,
I still couldn't do it, but I still, like, if you were like sat down and had me draw the family trait, not a chance.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I could either, because one of the things I've realized is happening in my family is we're getting a lot of repeat names or similar names. So, for example, I have a cousin Michelle, and then my cousin George's fiance is also Michelle. I'm Anthony. We have an Antoine. We have a Tony, and my cousin Alyssa is dating an Anthony.
Anthony.
So that's 4 versions of Anthony.
Yeah. And then I have my niece Alyssa. Go to my side. I have my niece Alyssa. My niece Gabriella is dating an Anthony.
Yeah.
And it's like we're just.
But
and then I have my nephew Michael. You have your brother Michael. It's happening on both sides.
Well,
Justin,
hold on. We're not talking. This isn't your family reunion we're talking about here.
I know, but it's very confusing for everybody, including myself.
Because my grandmother's name was Alice. We have an Elise, an Alyssa, and an Alice, all in the same family, and that's not including my grandmother. Those are all grandkids or great grandkids.
You'd think this would make it easier.
No, we also have 2 Georges, my cousin George and my dad George. We have, let's see, 2 Johns. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So we're becoming like the joke from my big fat Greek wedding where everyone's named Nico. It's basically my family now.
Come
then
on.
we have 2 Georges and a Georgette.
Come here. Put her, like, give her. I only have one hand, so. But we only have one. Adriana, say hi, everybody. See, look how big I got. Say hi. Who's that? Do you see yourself? Anthony, talk to her.
No, absolutely not.
Say hi.
She doesn't even have headphones in. How's she supposed to hear me?
Say hi, everybody. Say hi.
She's very confused.
Say, I just woke up. Can you give everybody a laugh and then you can leave and maybe come back? You're very okay. You love it. There you are. Say, I just woke up. Okay, do something fun and then we're going to let you go.
I'm waiting.
I know. You're laughing at your Mima.
Say hi.
Come on, do a laugh and then you can leave.
That doesn't look like it's about to be a laugh.
No. Oh, we're just going to eat everything, though. Oh, look. The chat loves you. Oh, she looks like me? I know. Thank you. She's so cute, right? All right. That's mine. I need that. Thank you very much. Oh, we're done here. Thank you for this riveting interview. You're so funny. You want it? Can I give her some of the vodka and see what she does?
No.
Just does she have like a toothache or something, or is she growing some teeth? Aren't you supposed to?
Right, you put whiskey on a tooth, like when their teeth are growing, right?
Well, when I was a kid, nowadays
Yeah.
they're probably called diapers.
One of the funniest things though she does is like when you're like even if you're not talking to her, when you're talking, she just stops and stares at you, right? Can you say hi?
Well, she's taking in the world right now. She's just observing everything.
Can you laugh? You see him? You see Anthony?
She's about to take that mic poof.
Not very
Okay.
talkative.
Normally, do you want to? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you were a little baby and you sat here with me? All right. How old is she now? She'll be 7 months and 10 days. No, 24th or 23rd. 10 days. All right. Get out of here.
Come on.
So I want to point something out. Christian Nicole said Anthony is so much like my best friend. Does not like kids. I love kids. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do when there's a kid that doesn't speak on camera. That can't even hear me because they don't have headphones in.
Okay, let's Krisha, you actually have both of these wrong. Where CM just loves kids. That's entirely not
I think
true.
I probably like kids more than Carla Marie does.
100%.
But Carla Marie just likes her niece. Carla Marie, because of the whole dictator thing she's got going on. What's your thing? Your Enneagram?
8.
Yeah. Because of her Enneagram number, as long as it's related to her, she loves it.
Okay, let's be fair. I love hanging out with the kids in your family.
Yeah, but I think if someone was to be better, I think I'm actually better with kids than you are.
Okay, but if they needed to eat or get their diaper changed, they would either starve to death or have poop in their pants.
No,
for
I
days.
could feed a kid, not with my nipple, because that's like, impossible. But I
You can-
a kid that can eat regular food, I can handle.
Okay, but there, you can feed babies with formula too, right?
Oh yeah. As long as they don't need a nipple like to breastfeed, I think I'm okay.
Okay, can
think
you
I can
change a
feed it.
diaper?
I probably could. I've done it once. I'm
All right.
gonna look to avoid that for the rest of my life, though. As long as I can avoid it.
Oh.
This is one of those things that I don't think it's the flex that people think it is. Where you're like, oh, I could change a diaper. Great, do it. Keep doing it, because I don't want to do it. It's a silly flex. You understand that, right? Ew, can you
Okay.
change a diaper? Yeah. Who cares? I'm gonna
I think
try to
you're-
avoid that act as long as humanly possible.
And that's fair, but I would like you to come here today, maybe, and we can see how you do.
Again, that doesn't fall in line with my guidelines of avoiding that act as long as possible.
Yeah, but see, that's not.
Like, I'm not responsible for that child. Therefore, I'm
changed-
not responsible when that child poops.
You used a scoop litter, and now you change the bag.
Wildly different. Wildly different.
I don't know.
There's apparatus I can use. The scooper, I'm one level
you're
of
not-
Kevin Bacon away from the scoop at that point. From the poop, I mean.
Same
Right.
thing. It's like a wipe. You're not using your hand.
That wipe is on your hand, though. Right? You're doing this move.
Are we still sitting here saying that Anthony is so much better with
No,
kids?
I like kids. I'm better with kids. The fact that I don't want to change a diaper doesn't mean I don't like or it would be bad with kids. It just is a natural human instinct to not want to throw your hand into a bag of poop.
It's not like anyone.
And kid poop, cat poop is way better than kid poop.
No, it's not. It's
What do you-
actually harmful.
Oh, I'm not
For you.
talking about the chemicals. Breathing outside is harmful.
But it smells. Cat poop smells real bad.
Oh, yeah, because child poop doesn't smell at all.
Not real. The baby poop doesn't start smelling until a certain age.
Yeah.
Like
and,
their poop won't.
and then it's all over, too, because they have their diapers on, so it smears it all over their butts.
Okay, I don't like. You can't really talk about this if you've never changed the diaper.
But I have, though.
once.
Yeah. If you've ridden a roller coaster, can you never speak about riding roller coasters because you only did it once?
Yeah, but you've only been on one roller coaster. They're all
So?
different.
Same feeling.
Yeah.
And I get it that changing a baby's diaper is like some sort of necessary thing you're supposed to do. I just don't think it's the flex that people make it out to be. Oh, can you change a diaper? I hope to never find out again.
Okay. Well, you're going.
I'm so good at wiping poop off of a baby's butt. Oh, look at how cool I am. That's what you sound like. Oh,
No.
I'm a shit wiper. Look at me. Meh, meh, meh. That's what you sound like. And thank you, Fred the Mailman. Kid poop is way worse than cat poop.
Maybe it's changed nowadays, Fred. When's the last time you changed the diaper?
Is there anyone that actually thinks kid poop is better? They can't be.
I don't know. When John and Caroline used that litter, It's only them two. Because Max and Erica don't really smell that bad. For some reason, John and Caroline's poop is absurd.
But you're going with specifically the smell. And I think there's way more to judging the poops than just the smell. There's the act of cleaning it, which is way more involved when you have a child, especially when that child, imagine you had to pick up cat poop, but the cat was in there flicking its arms like this, right? That sucks. And then if you take the diaper off of a boy, sometimes he'll right in your face with the pee.
Yes.
So
But
I'm telling you, the whole experience is way better with cats.
that's why you rub their bellies with something cold before, so they pee in the diaper.
Or that's why you have a cat pee in a box and you handle it later. That's the thing about cat poop too. You don't have to handle it in the stinkiest of moments. You can let it simmer or settle.
Yes. But I'm glad that you just referred to the cats having arms. Because I do, and you always make fun of me.
No,
so.
they have their front legs are their arms.
Are you kidding? Because I say that and you're like, it's his leg.
Okay,
it's
anyway.
a paw. It's not a foot.
I don't call them hands. Oh no, sometimes I do call them hands actually.
You say, Max, look at your cute little hands.
Yeah. And Erica uses her hands for a lot of things. Anyway, that's very inside. We are going to move on from that. But what?
Okay.
What?
Very inside. You sound like our old boss.
No, it's just like we're talking about cat paws and hands and what we call them. Let's just move on to things that have happened in the last couple days since we've been gone from Twitch. Like Carla Marie's AirPods are driving all around Texas.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that.
Okay, why not?
Well, because, okay, she's not listening. My parents bought me them for Christmas, so I don't want them to know that they're currently driving around Texas. However, I'm about to burn down a building in Texas because I think I know what happened.
It's hot enough where it's probably going to happen anyway, so don't worry about it.
So, I was 100% convinced when I got on the airplane to come back to leave Texas that I left my AirPods in my Uber because I swore I remember getting off the plane with them, put them in my pocket, got out of the Uber and kind of like a chaos move because our friend dropped her jacket. I was like, oh, you dropped your jacket. Normally I check my seat, but it was like frazzled. So that's what I was convinced. Got in touch with Uber. They got in touch with the driver. And then I got in the air and like I couldn't do anything for 3 hours. Then I kept seeing where the AirPods were. And then the next morning I saw them and they were near the hotel. And I was like, oh my God, Uber got in touch with them. They're dropping them off at the hotel for Ricky. Like I asked them to. This is great. Then they drove to the airport. And they stayed at the airport for about 8 to 10 hours. Then I was like, did I leave them on the airplane? And now an airport employee has them.
Okay.
So now I've been tracking them again. They're at a new address. Now they're at this person's place of work and not their apartment. And it's a company called something Wash Solutions, which means they are the people that clean the airplanes.
Okay. Oh, like a separate company that comes in that the airline hires.
Yes.
Okay.
And I do need to say that Uber is an absolute hero in this because they came back to me and were like, we'll just send you a new pair of AirPods. This is before any of the, I don't know, like I still think it's Uber. And I was like, okay. So apparently by Wednesday, I'm going to get tracking information. They're sending like never in my life did I know that was a thing. So if that happens, that's so cool. I'm still going to call this place of business and be like, someone at your company has my AirPods. They're stolen. I filed the police report.
Hold on. They are not stolen. Let's be they did not steal something.
So this is what I've been learning.
You.
The difference is they're lost. So, but if they were lost, they should be sitting at the airport lost and found. Someone took them.
Someone took AirPods that were most likely left behind. That is a very different thing than calling a place of business and saying one of your employees stole something from me.
Okay, one of your employees has my AirPods.
That's fine. One of your employees has my AirPods that I forgot on a plane.
And I have filed a police report, and the police are coming there in 2 days if you don't put them in the mail.
Okay, that's a little ridiculous. And now you're going to then, well, okay, let me ask you this then, Carla Marie.
Mm-hmm.
If that was to work, if you call this place and they happen to find your AirPods and they send them back, will you send back the AirPods that Uber sends you?
I'll email them and be like, hey, Uber, I don't need them. Do you want me to send them back? And they're going to say no, and then I'm going to sell them.
Oh, so you're allowed to be the criminal, but not this person.
Here's the difference. Uber's a $1 billion company.
But
they probably got this through trade from Apple.
Maybe. I don't know if Uber does trade though. I don't know. They're not like a broke radio company.
Within
They're not begging Wendy's for gift cards. What?
It's funny, but
Yes.
because it's ridiculous, these people can't even use my AirPods. They're locked. They will never be able to use them.
So you can't do like a hard reset or a factory reset or
talked to
take
my
them to an
friend-
Apple store?
I've talked to a friend who has worked at Apple, and he said, unlike phones and stuff, AirPods can't be reset because they're just that they don't have that interface yet. It's just
Okay.
not possible. So,
Interesting.
and anytime the AirPods get to an iPhone that is on Wi-Fi, if you open the AirPods on whoever's phone is nearby, it'll say, "Lost AirPods in your vicinity. Please contact." And has my name and number.
Oh, W
So-
Plan said, I've reset my AirPods.
Yes, but they're locked. Were they locked?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. And if you're resetting your own, that's different. So
Yes.
the question from Heather on Long Island was, can your lost AirPods be linked to a new phone?
No, because they're set as locked. Like you can go in and at least with the AirPods Pro. I don't know about the old ones. I have set them as lost. They are locked. They will not work for anyone. Nothing.
That's interesting. I mean, that's a cool setting.
But so I will randomly ding them.
And what does that do?
It's just playing a sound. But if they're the whole company, they probably do this all the time.
What do you mean?
Like they probably have a crap ton of AirPods in their office because people leave them all the time.
I'm sure they have a ton of everything. I'm sure they have phones, cables, charging nuggets. You have to have every single thing.
Yeah.
Every consumer product available if you are cleaning airplanes.
Yeah. And I once
Probably
read this
passports.
I read an article once about someone who left their AirPods or their jacket with their AirPods in it on the plane. They got off the plane and they were like, I left my jacket in there, my AirPods. And they were like, sorry, you can't get back on the plane to get them. They were like, okay, but there are other people still on the plane. Can you just have someone grab it? And they were like, no. So they had to go through this whole thing. They talked about whatever airline it was, filed a police report. They tracked them. And it was an airplane, like an employee. I think it ended up being a flight attendant or someone that took them to their house. Like they tracked them, did this thing, got the police involved, and the police were able to get their AirPods back.
But again, I think we're making this airline employee or cleaning employee a villain when they're not. When they found something that someone left behind, that could be completely like the example that you gave, Carla Marie.
But it wasn't like I was like, here's a candy bar that I don't want.
It doesn't matter. You still
Clearly
left it. It doesn't matter. What do you expect them to do when they find?
Okay, for example, I found a bracelet at Morning Show Boot Camp. And I didn't put that bracelet in my pocket. I turned it into someone. Turned out it was Amy Brown's and she had lost it and it was her mom's.
Okay. I'm going to tell you the differences between those things. Excuse me.
I'm a good human.
Yes, that was very nice of you to do. But the other differences, Carla Marie, are that you were in a group that was pretty much stationary. There were so many people from the same conference in the same hotel for multiple days, Wednesday through Friday, almost at minimum. So you knew that person was going to be in that same area, and there was a chance that you were going to know that person personally. The difference with the airline thing is once people are off a plane, you don't know if they're going to come back. You don't know if they're going to realize it. And I don't know if they're even allowed to come back on the plane through whatever airline.
There's a lost and found. There is a lost and found at airports, at specific airlines. Like, hello?
Yeah.
Come on.
But I guarantee
everything is a lost and found.
there are lost and founds, yes. And it would have been very nice for that person to go out of their way to return your item that you forgot.
Go out of their way. They walk off the plane and give it to the front gate person.
How do you know? How do you know
Because-
that's
Because
the
it is.
protocol?
Because it is. It is. And then they probably would have been like, oh, we have lost AirPods.
I think you're expecting someone to do a lot of work for something that you forgot.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm
You
not.
are. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but you are currently wrong.
Okay, we have different opinions, yes.
No. Oh, there's still baby wet on this.
You've never found something ever in public that you didn't return?
No. But, oh, yeah. At our friend's wedding, I found $20 and I held on to it for a bit to see if anyone said anything. And by the end of the night, I just put it in their wedding gift box.
Okay, but that wasn't your gift to give.
But what was I going to do with it?
Who knows? Apparently, you should have gone through every possible route to return that $20 to its rightful owner. Yes
but
or
I'm
no?
also dinging it. And if anyone in this vicinity has AirPods, it's saying there's a person who is trying to find the thing that you have.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And I understand it because let's see, it's Meg Not Megan says Tones. There is a lost and found. I understand all of that. I think we are expecting people that we don't know who have no obligation to us to fix our problems. Carla Marie forgot her headphones on the plane. It is not this person's responsibility to reunite Carla Marie with those headphones.
No.
It would be nice if they did. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that it would.
You mean to tell me this company that cleans airplanes doesn't have protocol for finding?
I would say it's one of the perks of working for that company.
No,
they are the lost and found.
Okay, one day when you leave something behind, I'm going to do this to you.
No, I totally understand that it sucks, right?
Still sitting there.
Where is it right now? Show us.
Give him a little ding ding. 2403 Walnut Ridge Street, Dallas, Texas. And it's
okay. Well, maybe not the specific address, Carla Marie.
What? No one's gonna go there.
Is it the business or is it a house?
Oh, it's the business.
Okay, that's
it's like
better.
A warehouse.
Okay,
it's a warehouse.
Okay.
First, I was like, "What's going on with this place?" Don't worry, I've done Google Street View. I know everything around it.
And they're in Dallas.
Yeah, like if I was still in Dallas, I'd be at this warehouse.
And you haven't called them yet, right?
No, because the time difference when I realized this morning that it was the cleaning place.
Okay. So can you record your call?
And
then we can like bleep out any sensitive information.
But I don't know how to do that.
You can't do. There's no voice recorder app on like a phone recorder app on the iPhone.
I have to pay for it, but I think they discontinued it because it's illegal.
I mean, if I was there, I could probably like do it through our streaming system to record.
I might be able to when I get back, but I'm not doing it around my mom because I don't want her to know.
Well, if she's watching this at all,
She's not.
I mean, we've talked about it now for like 20 minutes. So
Okay, so there's 2 wash companies in there. There's Wash Solutions.
Okay.
And then there's Progressive Wash Systems.
And
then there is
steal everything.
And there's Extreme. You know what I bet? I bet this company changes their name all the time because they're robbers.
No, they're not robbers. They're just not returners. There's a big difference. Big difference. If I found $1,000 on the street and I didn't return it, I didn't necessarily steal it. I just didn't return it. How much are AirPod Pros these days?
Fred the Mailman said, "What if the warehouse is the lost and found for that company?" Well, then they're not doing their job.
That's true. What if it was lost and you just have not found it yet? Like you haven't gone through the proper steps to retrieve it. That's a very good point, Fred.
Why would it leave the airport?
Because maybe they don't have enough space in the airport. Maybe they don't want. Maybe here's an idea, Carla Marie. Maybe they don't No, hold on. This is a serious thought here. Maybe they don't have the lost and found in the airport because it would take too much effort to get to the airport, and then sometimes you might need a boarding pass or something.
You're right, but I have heard stories of people like having to fly to a city and going back to the airport to get like their computer that they left or whatever. Like at airports, but I'm not calling them on the live stream, but I will call the airline.
Krista said just the case for the AirPod Pro is $110.
But again, there's still also a chance I left them in the back of the Uber, right? And someone else got in the Uber and took them.
Or that Uber, maybe the Uber driver, that was their second job. That was a way they supplement their income. Maybe they work at the airport and at Uber.
I just don't know.
With Uber, it's kind of weird because like almost anything is possible. It could have been taken by someone else. That person could have another job.
I know.
The way that it can be transferred from an Uber, if that's the case.
I will say, though, I did watch them sit at a bus stop for a long time the other day.
I mean, people can take the bus even if they drive Uber. Maybe they've got one household car, you know?
If they're
Oh, you're I don't know
can't
if
do
it's
anything.
I don't know if it's just me, but you're breaking up a little bit, so give it a second to like reset. You're getting real glitchy. Okay, try it now.
Hi.
Okay, I think we're back to normal. Was that just me, or did anyone else see the
I saw it
glitchiness
happen
there?
too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, are they still moving right now, or has it been in this place for a while?
They've been here since at least yesterday.
So there is a chance. I mean, either they have a desk there, maybe a locker of some sort that they stored it, but there is a chance that there is some sort of lost and found receptacle, and it's now there. Maybe they just traveled around with it until they got back to their spot.
Maybe. They took them to their home,
Maybe
an apartment complex.
No, but maybe they didn't have to go back to that space after they were done cleaning. Maybe their shift was over and they weren't working for another 2
You're
days.
telling me this company is telling people, take home all the stuff you find on an airplane, then bring them to our warehouse.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying maybe this person cared so much about returning your stuff that they kept it with them until they went back. That's something I would do. If I found something, I would keep it with me until I went back to the place that I could properly return it.
So I'll call this place and be like, hi, are you the airline lost and found?
No, you say, hi, I left my AirPods on a plane and I am tracking them now and it says it's in your location. Is this a lost and found that I can show up to? And then when they say, yeah, come on down, you're going to say, well, now you have to ship it to me. And then, or
Come on
someone in
down.
the Dallas area maybe can pick it up for you.
Okay, I'm going to look up because we flew Alaska there, right?
Yes. You're gonna look up where the Alaska lost and found is?
Lost and found item on flights. Did you forget something recently on an Alaska Airlines? Let's see. We'll send it to our warehouse in Dallas, Texas.
Who knows? It could. It's a very possible reality here that is what happened. Let's see. Maybe it was in a business vehicle, so it would be checked in the next time the driver was at the business location. That's another very good idea, Heather, on Long Island. Like they had a company car of some sort, and it just travels around until it gets back to the warehouse and emptied. Anyway, we are going to move on from these AirPods. As riveting as it has been to try to crack this case, Carla Marie, from your
I'm gonna crack
high stakes robbery.
And luckily they were pretty charged, and the more you ding it, the more it like kills the battery.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
What is the battery life on AirPods?
they're pretty good. If you're not using them, they'll last a decent amount of time.
Okay. Let's see. Audi Swan. I lost my glasses on a cruise ship, and the lost and found didn't have them. They got to be on the boat somewhere. Maybe. But again, there is this thing where, if we lose something, it's great if it ends up in the lost and found. That means someone did the right thing and went above and beyond to return your stuff. But you still lost it. This is still a you problem.
Yeah.
And it's less of a problem for the person that found it.
Sure.
That's like a Christmas gift. Christmas in August or whatever it was. What was your overall thought, though, Carla Marie, from Morning Show Boot Camp?
I thought it was fun. It's fun, like when people are in the industry that we're in, like as a bunch of creatives, and like you just kind of come together and you're excited to see each other, especially with social media now, is because we know everyone, but you don't actually know them.
Yeah.
So it's like it's fun to sit down with people and just spend time with them. Obviously getting to hang out with Ricky and John and John being, sharing a room with him was so much fun.
Yeah.
But I think it was like, okay, this gives me somewhat hope for the industry because there are a lot of young people that are still like trying to keep this thing going. But also there were times where I'd be like, what are you saying? Like, you're so delusional. You're so past what is actually happening because you are so successful. And I get that, but you actually don't know what it's like to just be a person on one radio station because you're on a syndicated show.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a little bit of like disconnect with some of the generations of radio and some of the people who think it's going to go in one direction versus another.
Yeah.
But what was most impressive to me, there were two things. One, Carla Marie and I were a little upset, along with some other people, that our panel was so early on Friday. Because we were generally, the way this conference works is Thursday is a pretty big day and Friday is great, but the first and last sessions on Friday usually have the least amount of people because the last one, obviously, people are trying to catch their flights, do what they've got to do. And the first one, people are hungover from the night before. So we found out we were moved to the first spot on Friday. I'm like, man, no one's going to be here. This sucks, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if it was the group of people on the panel. Obviously, Carla Marie as a host. I don't know if it was just the content. I don't know if it was just a good year. But it was basically packed. And when I say packed, you're talking about probably over 100 people.
It was crazy.
In the same like hotel ballroom that is designed to be a conference area. And by the end of it, it was standing room only. So we actually got a really good reception for our panel. And the thing that impressed me even more than that was how many people in the radio industry specifically knew how great this community specifically was. The amount of people that came up to us and said, I've been on your Twitch stream, and it's crazy how many people you have in your chat every single day. It's crazy that the same people show up so often for you guys. Or people that have worked with clients that we've worked with, and those clients have told them, oh, the Carla Marie and Anthony show community, the morning show podcast community is the strongest one we've ever worked with.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
The fact that this thing that we have all built, and I don't say me and Carla Marie, I mean, we all, like everyone here, it has like a really amazing reputation in this industry, in this radio podcast, like, audio first industry. And it's been pretty incredible.
It was wild. And like, when obviously we know that, but then hearing it from other people, it's like, oh, okay. We're not just in our bubble knowing that. People on the outside see it. Yeah. And we also got to see Alabama and Gordon for the first time in over 3 years, which was wild. Yeah. And we had so much fun hanging out and talking. Gordon has his own morning show in Indiana. Yeah. And Alabama has her own show. It was wild. And they had very nice things to say to us, and they posted on social about it. And we were just like briefly catching up, but it was so cool.
This is a good question from Addie Swan. What were some of the things you thought were out of touch? That's a good question. One of the things on one of the panels that got under my skin was it was a panel about saving radio, essentially like trying to make sure that radio is still around in the future. And the host is a guy named Bert, and he asked a great question.
He's so good.
And if you're in the Atlanta area, I think he's out in a bunch of other cities as well. But if you're in the Atlanta area, he has run Atlanta for a long time. He asked a really great question to one of the managers, executives on the panel about why can't these new radio contracts, these new creator contracts, why don't we own our own content and our own IP? Why does the radio company always make talent sign off on that? And the thing that bothered me was the person never answered the question.
And you'll see that a lot when you're interviewing executives on these things. And then like, it's up to the moderator to like push them, but also like that one day could be their boss or is their boss. So it becomes very weird. But yeah, the person didn't answer it. And as two people that got fucked by that, it was like, I was like, oh yes, this is going to be great. And then I'm like,
yeah. And the other thing is, Bert, I will give Bert credit. He kind of pushed a little bit. He re-asked the question. And I think the way he rephrased it was, when you're negotiating a contract, how does someone make sure that that language to own their own IP, to own their own content is in the contract? And the guy just repeated the same answer, essentially. Yeah. And I think they also work together. So I'm sure, like Carla Marie said, there wasn't going to be that much pushback. But stuff like that, I think, is a little frustrating when executives give those executive answers that don't actually answer any question. They just kind of a little bit of a word soup, touch on different parts of that conversation, then move on.
One of the coolest things was after our panel, I had a woman come up to me. Her name is Michelle. She's older than we are. So she's been in the industry since I believe at least the 80s, 90s. And she's like, she was just like, you did so good moderating that panel. It's not like we had a hard topic either. It was social media and why it's important to do video content. Yeah. And it wasn't like we were doing the hard hitting stuff like that. We were just talking about the importance and everyone, their different ways that they attack it. And she was just like, the way you handled that and the way you got everyone to talk, it was just, you were so natural and it was so good. And she's like, and I'm just so happy to see that women are moderating panels rather than having a women's panel. Yeah. Instead of just talking about we need more women in the industry, then do it. And she's like, and I'm so glad to see you up there and excelling. And I was like, dude, yes. And that's what I hate about these things. It's like, let's do a women's this. Yeah. No, just put women in things and make it the norm. And it is. And Radio Fam, who is in here right now, is the reason, or one of the reasons, but I'm going to give her all the credit, that has been happening at Morning Show Boot Camp of recent times. And
I now that she's in here, I mean, I can say this because she can hear it. This, out of all the years that I've been to, which is 3 years of Morning Show Boot Camp, this is probably the best.
It was.
I think the atmosphere in all of the rooms and the atmosphere in the hotel in general was great. I think the panels were really well put together. Everything, it looked better. It sounded better. Everything about it was really, really incredible. Yeah. And I've only been to 3. I know people have been to 30. I've only been to 3, and it was the most professional one that I've been to. It looked like like the radio industry was a real industry for once.
Yeah, it was like being at an Apple keynote. Like, the lights were like dark, but the stage was bright. It wasn't like we were in like this conference room. You had like a little table in front of you to take notes on, or like
Very underrated.
Very underrated at a conference. And instead of just sitting there in a chair, like you had something to lean on, it was comfortable. It didn't smell like last year. Last year smelled and it got like musty and like damp in that room. It was real weird. There were like all these like activations outside of it, like different things you could do, photo booths, like all around snaps.
And I want to say something because this community, obviously, they know you, Carla Marie, and they know our friend Ricky. And it's not only because I know both of you. I would say this either way. Obviously, I have my bias, but the both of you, I want to commend you. And I know I said it to you each individually, and I want to say it publicly, did such an amazing job as hosts, because in a lot of these types of situations, especially with radio people where you've got big personalities who want attention all the time. And a lot of this event is also trying to politic for new stations or new jobs or promotions. So people are really like putting on a show to a certain extent. Both of you and Ricky, did such a good job of making sure everyone on each of your panels got the spotlight that they deserved. You made sure everyone had time. You made sure everyone was able to answer every question. It was really, really well done for both of you. And there are a lot of people that were on panels that should probably take notes from your panel and Ricky's panel, because you guys did such a good job.
Yeah, I watched Ricky's and I was like, oh shit, I need to go back and revamp mine, because I was like, oh, I need to make sure that I am like specifically, even if like starting with, okay, you go, Anthony. And I didn't do that at first. And I was like kind of like fumbling at first, I felt like. And then I got into the groove of like, no, you start with this question just to make sure. Because I've been on panels before where I don't get to say anything because someone takes over the whole thing.
Christian Nicole asked a really good question. What was the panel Ricky was the host of? I know it was newcomers in radio, but what did they touch on? Do you want to explain that, Carla Marie?
It's called the Rising Stars panel. Ricky was a panelist on it last year, and this year she got to host it, which was really cool. And it touches on a lot of the same things that are touched on in like the panels where it's like what is the mornings of the Masters of the Morning. So it's like people that have been in the radio industry for years on a morning show. And this is kind of almost like the same panel with the same questions, but new people. Yeah. And it's like, what is advice that a mentor has told you? And, John's was great. And, John, or what is something that's got you through? And John was like, I always just said yes. And even if I didn't know how to do things, I Googled it, I figured it out. And, John was great. That whole panel was amazing.
And a lot of it is how to integrate with a bigger show if you're a part of a show. Like John is part of the Val show, the Valentine of the Morning show in LA. Val has been a premier radio host, like top level radio host for years and years and years. So for someone like John, the questions would be, how do you keep up? How do you make sure that you're helping the show reach a different demographic or bring in a new audience? And then there's people who aren't parts of new shows. Like there was Erin from Nashville. How do you host a show on your own when you're brand new and you don't have years of experience? Stuff like that. Yeah,
she Erin was awesome. Love. Like here, I never have gotten. Erin was on the morning show podcast with Alabama.
Yes,
that's who played. So I never really got to hear from her that much, and that was awesome. But I think the point of that panel is for people that have been in radio forever to kind of sit there and be like, oh, that's what they're going through. Oh, kind of getting this mindset of yeah, that's what it was like to join radio for the first time. Or I'm going to take note of these people because when I'm hiring for a new co-host or whatever, I want them on mine. I mean, we know plenty of people that get hit up from 4 jobs after being on that panel.
Yeah.
Always. So,
I mean, we actually, the reason we signed with this company that now sells our podcast and we work with a lot is because of Morning Show Boot Camp last year. It's a big networking event as well as an educational event and just, a good get together.
And we had a lot of great conversations. So there will be things over this next year that likely come out of being at Morning Show Boot Camp this year. So it's, can you watch the panels online? You have to pay for them. But we did record our panel and it's just the 2 of us. So we'll eventually post.
That had to be recorded for Ricky, John, and Zach. So we got to play around with that audio and chop it up a little bit.
There was a funny part of their panel though. So there are two co-hosts, Barbie T and
Dex.
T-Rex is where my brain just went. RBT Rex. Barbie T and Dex, they host the morning show in Florida, and they were on the Rising Stars panel together. And they're roommates. Not dating. They are roommates. And when they first said that, you kind of like heard the whole room kind of was like, huh? Roommates? What? Because like it's so funny because when Anthony and I moved into the same apartment complex, we had a boss that was like, oh my God, you're going to ruin the whole show by living in the same place. And we're like, you're old. Be quiet. So anyway, they are roommates. So, the panel keeps going on. And then Zach, who is Ricky's co-host in Nashville, gets on the mic. He's like, and we're front row, Anthony and I. He's like, you two better be careful because you're going to end up like Carla Marie and Anthony on the mic. And we were both like, and the whole
And everyone knew what he was talking about.
Erupted and was cheering.
Rebecca in Jacksonville said they are in Jax. Yes, they are. They started, I think less than a year ago in Jacksonville. I don't know who they took over for, but they are a new show in Jacksonville. I believe they were together in a smaller market, maybe. Yeah. I forgot where they were from, but
I forget where. But yeah, so it was that was hilarious. And then Fred said it was great seeing that someone like TJ was there. Yep, TJ. We got to see him briefly. I got a selfie with him, and then DJ Dan or DJ Romero, he was there as well. So it was all around a good weekend. Drank more than I wanted to.
Yep, it was a good time, and it's one of those things that doesn't reinvigorate you. If you've ever had a conference for whatever your industry is, if you have a passion for it, you get these new ideas and you start running with them in your head and you start building out completely different things. Even those things were just usually triggers for different ideas and thought starters. So it's good to get that sort of career reinvigoration, if you will, from an event like that. So that was great. And yes, Dave Ryan was there and accepted kind of a lifetime achievement award.
Also, the craziest thing, again, second year in a row this has happened, but Dave Ryan came up to us after our panel. Dave Ryan is a radio legend. Yeah. Like Elvis Duran is a radio legend. In a ton of cities, Dave Ryan is on KDWB in Minneapolis. And absolute legend there. And actually during our panel, he asked the question because his Instagram is Dave Ryan KDWB. It's the only station he's been on for however many years. And he was like, I have a question for a radio host. For you guys, do you think that it's smart to put your station name in your Instagram? And what did you say, Anthony?
Well, I said, no, I think it's silly. But if you're a radio legend, like you, basically, like Dave Ryan, it doesn't matter because you're probably not getting fired. But for those of us who aren't radio legends, it is dumb because you are essentially letting that radio station own your social. Yeah. And then you then have to readjust and rebrand after you get let go.
Carla Marie Z100, even I didn't get fired. Yeah. We went, you know what I mean?
That's
like
true.
It just,
the only person it works for really is Z Scotty B.
Because it looks cool.
It flows right.
Yeah. But Dave Ryan came up to us after our panel and he was like, always impressed with you guys. Like, I loved hearing that. Really was so great to listen to. And he's like, let's take a selfie. And I'm like, what?
He's a really cool, really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
And it was, there's some speeches that are made and whatnot. And it really makes you realize that community that we get to be a part of, it's very close knit. It's Meg Not Megan said 2 family reunions for Tones in 1 week.
3.
I'm actually going to have 3 kind of, because there was the radio family reunion, which was last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then my actual family reunion on Saturday and Sunday. And then this coming weekend, I will also be in New Jersey for my mom's side of the family reunion. And the reason people in radio were asking, oh, does your mom's side and your dad's side not get along?
No, we can't have 900
there's just entirely too many people. I mean, there were, 40 people here? Something like that.
It's just like, then it's like too much. It's too overwhelming. You can't spend time with everyone. It just makes so much more sense.
There were about 40 people here, and that was just my dad's side of the family. And we still were missing a couple people that weren't able to make it. So we do that. And then it's also because a lot of the people on my dad's side of the family have to either fly or drive in. So they need a place to stay.
Yeah.
Which makes the situation a little more condensed. Whereas my mom's side of the family, I think only one person is flying or driving in from a distance where they can't go home that same day.
Yeah.
So it's a balance, and I'm gonna be hanging out with so many of my family members.
It's cool.
But like everyone knows, you can't have a large gathering without one bad thing happening. And I spent a large portion of the day yesterday in the hospital because my mom took a little spill. Nothing crazy. It was just 2 stairs, but it was 2 stairs into a closed door.
That's what happened? You didn't
Yeah.
fully explain to me
so
that. I just knew. I knew.
we have these stairs that go down to our basement. At the very bottom of the stairs is a door. And she had just finished closing the door to come up, realized she had to go back to get something, turned, missed this step when she turned, and essentially went like that into the door. So ended up with she's at the doctor, I believe, right now. Because we took her to the hospital yesterday for like just emergency stuff, and now she's at an orthopedic getting the thorough examination, but could have maybe fractured her wrist and like pulled something in her shoulder.
I told her
She's
that.
doing much better today than she was yesterday.
Yeah. I told her that between your family and my family, we are single-handedly keeping the U.S. healthcare system afloat. So,
but yeah, so that'll be interesting to figure out what has to happen now for the rest of the week. But I'm actually thankful that I just by chance I was going to be here for almost the whole week. So
yeah, you can help. You can be a good donkey.
I can. Although my mom is very much like me and doesn't like people doing things for her.
Well,
so we'll see. But we'll figure it out.
She's gonna have to let you.
All right, Carla Marie.
It's been fun. We'll be back here tomorrow.
Go do some stuff with that baby. Go change a diaper because it's so cool to do.
No, I'm gonna be
changing.
No. I'm gonna be Carla Marie San Diego.
You're gonna disappear?
No.
You're gonna go to a different state?
Isn't she like a detective?
Carmen San Diego? No, you're supposed to find Carmen
Find
San
her?
Diego.
Oh, well, I'm gonna find my AirPods.
Did we ever figure out why we're chasing Carmen San Diego? She's a thief, right?
I think she might have my AirPods.
All right, we are out of here. Thank you very much for making the morning show podcast part of your morning, because if you do that, we get listens on our podcast player. So if you haven't listened to it yet, there is a brand new podcast available. Carla Marie, enjoy your Taylor Swift Eras shirt. Goodbye.